Gotta win. We want to save our country from the radical left crazies. Thank you very much. And hello, North Carolina. Hello, North Carolina. The radical left. Thrilled to be in Fayetteville with thousands of loyal, hardworking American patriots. And you know what's going to happen in 45 days from now. And you're watching those polls, they go up, 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 up. 45 days from now, we're going to win North Carolina. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House. Right?
Radical left. This is live. This is a few seconds behind live.
As we meet tonight, our nation mourns the loss of a legal giant, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her landmark rulings, fierce devotion to justice, and her courageous battle against cancer inspire all Americans. You may agree, you may not disagree with her, but she was an inspiration.
You may agree or you may not disagree.
Tremendous number of people.
That's the same.
Say all Americans. Justice Ginsburg's close relationship with a friend of ours, a friend of mine, Justice Scalia. Is also
Justice
a
Scalia.
Powerful reminder that we can disagree on fundamental issues while treating each other with decency, dignity, and respect.
Really?
Our thoughts and prayers are with her family. Thank you very much.
You want to tell that to Sleepy Joe or Crazy Nancy about the dignity and respect that you're treating them with?
Article 2 of our Constitution says the President shall nominate justices of the Supreme Court.
No. That's not what Mitch says it says. Only if the same party's in power.
I don't think it can be any more clear, can it? I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you think, Tom? Tom Tillis? I don't think it can be any more clear.
It's not what you thought in 2016.
This can only happen in North Carolina.
I just want to see what he says about Ginsburg. It's not going to be a long broadcast. We're not going to do the whole rally.
Press. That's a lot of press. That's a lot of fake news. A lot of fake news.
And they cheer fake news.
Well, I hope they hear. So the chant, this is a new one. Fill that seat. This is the chant. This can only happen to me. Fill that seat. No, it says the president is supposed to fill the seat, right? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill the seat. I love that chant. We hear more chants. There's a lot of genius in those chants half the time.
Really?
You said
Fill
it
that
better
seat
than
is
you
genius.
can say it. You can read a speech, but what's better than those words? Fill that seat. You know what you do? You come up, you say, fill that seat, you leave, and you've said everything. You don't have to bother. There have been
No, they will. They're going to
29
fill it.
times a vacancy opened during an election year or prior to an inauguration. 29 times, that's a lot. Every single time, the sitting president made a nomination. Mm-hmm. That included, did you ever hear of George Washington? Did you ever hear of Thomas Jefferson? Or how about the great Abraham Lincoln when he wore the hat?
That's what happened all the
way
way until 2016, when Mitch McConnell decided that wasn't what should happen.
And
now we're back.
Nobody said, oh, let's not fill the seat. We won the election.
That was 2016.
We have some senators that, well, forget it.
What?
Think of it. I won't say it.
That's how he's going to address 2016.
I won't say it, Susan. But Tom Tillis is with us, I can tell you that, right? Great. We have great Republican senators. We have great people. And we have a great country. We have a great country.
Okay, we're going to say anything else about this?
So we win an election, and those are the consequences. It's called fill that seat, and that's what we're doing.
Obama won the election.
Was a very central issue in both the 2016 presidential election and then the 2018 midterm elections, where, by the way, I didn't run.
It was not a central election in 2018.
A lot of people said, oh, he really took
Healthcare
a
and
little bit of a
caravans
slack.
were the
Not nearly
central
as
election.
bad as others. In fact, we gained seats in the Senate, but they never talk about that, right? They don't talk about that. We gained 2 seats. Nobody talked about it. But we didn't run. And I had a lot of people that said, sir, you'll never vote in 2018. I said, no, vote. Everybody vote. They just didn't. I think we were like 9 million people decided they wanted to wait. And they've waited. And you see what's going on. You see what's happening. You see the enthusiasm that we have, which, by the way, we set a record in 2016. The bad news for the Democrats is we are more enthusiastic now, not even close, than we were in 2016. I mean, we are getting crowds, and this is pandemic, and we're rounding the turn. We're rounding the corner of the pandemic, okay? But we're having them outside, and we shouldn't say this is some kind of a rally. From now on, it's called a protest. We are protesting. You know, we're going to call all our rallies now because, you know, if you see a lot of these, let's call them blue states. We want to be nice. We're going to call it a protest against stupidity. So we are going to have protest against stupidity. Because, you know, a lot of the people, like in Michigan and other places, we love Michigan, but the governor's got them shut down. I hate to say it, your governor's got you shut down. It doesn't look it here, but your governor has got you shut down. I don't know. You're not breaking a law by being here. Otherwise, if you are, we'll have to do something about that because
You don't care.
oh, this is a hell of a shutdown. I think your governor has to let this state open up. Gonna let this state open up. And Pennsylvania, look what they're doing in Pennsylvania, a great state. That's actually something very special is going to happen here in Pennsylvania. That's a Commonwealth. We always have to remember Pennsylvania Commonwealth.
Here's the problem, and this is what I was saying in 2016. The Democrats should have fought like hell in 2016 because what was happening in the Senate was wrong. They should have shut down all government operations in terms of legislation. Don't shut down the government. Nobody likes that. And every television ad we saw on television in 2016 should have been, this is one of the most sacred duties. And here, this is what the Constitution says. The president nominates, the Senate advises and consents. Not a vote, not a single vote. Go ahead and vote him down. And let Obama nominate someone else and vote him down. Now they become obstructionists, etc., etc., although they were being obstructionists. And now we're right back at it because they're like, okay, well, the next time, if this happens to you, you're not going to be able to. No, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Of course they're going to do it. They're complete hypocrites. And one of the senators might be, well, you know, we did say this last time, and we should live by our word. And the GOP will say, okay, well then, how are you going to get your funding for the next election? How are you going to do that? You want President Trump to tweet about you as well? Would you like that? Because he just dismissed Collins. Collins hasn't. I don't know. She's confirmed one way or the other. But he's like, I don't want to say Susan. I don't want to say. Now he's dismissing Susan Collins. But the Democrats lost that opportunity in 2016 because here's the problem with the Democrats. Keep in mind, I'm independent. I don't vote necessarily one way or the other. This year, I will be voting blue all the way down the line because of that. But Democrats always assume, and the other side assumes the opposite, but Democrats always assume that the other side is full of basically decent human beings. And it's not. It's not. And all Trump has done is shown a light on that. Most of the GOP, no backbone. Not decent human beings. When they go low, they go lower. And the Democrats knew that in 2016 because they had just been through 6 years of the party of no. And they didn't push it. They're like, oh, we'll battle this another day. Dig me some Obama? He's too nice. He is too nice. Although I'll tell you what, everyone was upset that Obama couldn't do more because of term limits. If he wins again, you're going to be so happy with term limits. You're going to be like, yeah, thank God for that. Oh my God, the term limits. Now here's the thing. The other side, we're going to call them the Trump party because the GOP really is no more. The Trump party, they also assume that the other side is going to be like them. And so he keeps saying things like, oh, they're just holding the states closed because they're trying to win an election. They're just going to open everything up on November 4th. This is all political. Because that's something he would do. I mean, he just shut down the post office. He's that kind of person. So you assume that other people are the kind of people that you are. And that is what kills the Democrats. You gotta fight harder. And I dig me some Michelle Obama, but when they go high, we get beaten. Badly. When they go high. Screwed that up. Yes, I did. Judges, thank you. When they go low, we get beaten. So Collins has already confirmed she won't vote in Scotiabank. Okay. That's one. They need 4. Need 4. Hi, Fortune. We could try and love and help each other more often than arguing or fighting. That would be better life. Okay, fine. But you're not dealing with the same kind of people. Love one another, but the GOP doesn't play that game. They just don't. The GOP will walk around with t-shirts that say, fuck your feelings. They don't operate by those kind of feelings. They don't operate on love and compassion for their fellow man. They operate on fear and loathing and despisement of the other. That's how they operate. And the Democrats had better goddamn start realizing that. To quote Newsroom, if the left is so liberals, if liberals are so goddamn smart, how come they lose so fucking always? I reversed the goddamn and the fucking for effect there. It's actually goddamn always. They don't. They don't. You put up the right candidate and you can win. You put up another Obama and you can win. Hillary was no Obama. Joe Biden, we shall see. Joe Biden is as close as the party could put up to Obama. I mean, he was Obama's best friend, right? And we will see if the right voting pack turns out in the right numbers. I still think Biden wins. But this now we got 2 battles going on. Despisement is a word. I just said it. Is it a made-up word? Yes. Is every word a made-up word? Yes. Okay, you got Romney. Grassley, he'll do it after the election if he says no now. Anybody else, it'll be after the election. And then, because it doesn't matter. Anybody who's leaving at that point, if they're going to be like, well, I think we should wait till after the election, and then they lose, they've got nothing to lose. And if they win, they still have something to lose. The backing of the party. The money funnels through the GOP. See if he says anything else about this.
Well, got 2 of them, and you better remember you get in trouble. But we love Pennsylvania, and it's shut down. The governor's got it just shut down nice and tight. And you know what? On November 4th, it's going to be opened up.
Yeah. He believes that because he thinks that way. He thinks Northam thinks that way. Governor Northam. You know, the blackface guy. And here's the thing, and I hate to say this, but you're all a bunch of hypocrites. And I am too. I am too. Because in 2016, I guarantee you, or in this case, I guarantee you, no, it doesn't work as well. In 2016, you were like, no, they should vote. They should vote on the nominee. That's the way it works. The Constitution says president nominates and advise and consent. You should do it. You have to do it as soon as you can do it, because otherwise we get a Supreme Court and we don't have 4-4 tie and you can't. That was us in 2016. It was. Thank you, judges. And now we're like, oh, you can't do that. Oh no, that's regardless of what the Constitution says. The Constitution says he is supposed to nominate, and the Senate is supposed to advise and consent. Did the founding fathers see this happening? No, of course not. Remember, there weren't even political parties in those days. There were, but not like now. Mitch did change the rules, and we were so upset by that. And now the rules are changed right back to what we wanted them to be. And we're so upset by that. Elections have consequences. And the 44% of the population who gets to vote for the senators, they win this one. At Random says, yeah, but no. We're not saying that because we're hypocrites. We're saying that because the rules should not be different for Democrats and Republicans. Okay, but we're hypocrites because back then we were saying, look at the Constitution. And now that if you look at the Constitution, this is what's supposed to happen according to the Constitution, we're like, no. Don't look at the Constitution. Look at what Mitch said last time. Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. I feel terrible about the whole thing. But the bottom line is the right thing to do, the humane thing to do, is to play by the new rules. That's the way it's supposed to work. And like I mentioned yesterday or the day before or whatever it was, the Senate only has like 9 rules written down. Might be 11. I think it's 9. The rest of the rules they just make up. Just make up when they come into office. What do you guys want to do? Should we have 60 votes, 50 votes, filibuster, no filibuster? What do you want to do? Okay, 50? We'll do 50. The stupid thing is that you get to decide the votes based on 50 votes if you have the vice president on your side. So let's just say 51 votes, a simple majority. You decide the rules on a simple majority, and every single time they've decided on the rules, they've decided on the filibuster, which is a 60, a super majority vote. So every single time they voted against their own interests, really. Because they are afraid that if the other party gets into power, they will not have a voice. Which is fine with me. Voting had not started and they delayed a year. Yeah, it's 10.5 months. But yeah, maybe Bernie would have won in 2016. I doubt it. In fact, I'd say no. Bernie doesn't have any black support. And this is generalization. But Bernie just didn't have support in the black voting bloc. He still doesn't, and that's why Joe Biden is our nominee. And without the black support showing up at the polls, the Democrats, they can't win. That's why Trump won by 70,000 votes, because Hillary could not draw out the African-American bloc to vote in the numbers that they did for Obama. They show up like they did for Obama. Everybody else the same. Whites, Asians, college-educated, non-college-educated, Hispanic, everybody else showed up at about the same level for the Democrats. She could not inspire the African Americans, and a lot of that was having to do with the constant barrage of attacks on Facebook and Instagram that you received if you were African American. Well, how did the Russians know who was African American and who wasn't African American? That seems ridiculous. Well, you had the campaign manager, Paul Manafort, for the Trump campaign, handing that exact information to Russian agents. That's how they knew. And it was cheap too. Everyone's like, oh, Facebook. The Instagram posts were shared far more widely than the Facebook in general. This is today's. Let's keep going with this.
They're trying to hurt our numbers, but our economic numbers are so good, they're staggering. They're the best.
And Cambridge Analytics as well. Yeah, that was, I don't know if the Cambridge Analytics data was shared through Manafort, but Cambridge Analytics was shared through other means. So yeah, they had all this data.
We've ever had jobs, retail, stock.
So they targeted union members. They targeted in every state. It depends on which state you're in. But if you were in West Virginia or North Carolina, it was coal workers and whatever North Carolina does. And South Carolina pimento farmers. I don't know. I have all that data. I've been to North Carolina, and I had a great time in Raleigh. Went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup when my Oilers played there, and I took my son. He was 9 years old, so it would have been, 95? 95 or 96. The Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7, 96. Everyone there treated us like they were the nicest people on the planet. I mean, honestly, we had one hell of a time, and the people there couldn't have been nicer. And I learned a word that means anything you want it to mean and is the handiest word you could ever have. It's like aloha, but for the South. Can anyone come up with the word that I'm thinking of? 2005? Thanks, Rich. Oh, Rick, sorry. Good to see you, Rick Mackey. Haven't seen you in here in a little while, I think.
Stock market, everything.
Yeah, so the people sitting behind them, if they show up with a mask, they're supposed to wear that mask. If they don't have a mask, for example, this gentleman, this lady right here, I saw a gentleman right behind him with his own mask. That lady's got her own mask. If they don't have their own mask that they want to wear, then they get a mega mask, and they have to wear that. But if you're behind, if you're going to be on camera, you got to wear your mask. Everybody else in the audience, I was watching Right Side Broadcasting, and they were showing the audience. Nobody was wearing. Not y'all, but you're getting there.
And this is
It does start with a Y. The word starts with a Y, and I never realized how handy it is.
with a lot of shutdowns by Democrats. That's all they're doing. On November 4th, they'll announce we've decided to open up. One of the teachers' groups said, actually, one of the unions and one of the politicians in California said, no, we're not going to do it. We need to do it. We should be open by November 4th. That was not a good thing for them to say.
Guys, you're not even watching a Trump rally, and you're not watching a peaceful protest. You're just watching me rant today. Here's the thing. This is breaking news, by the way. You may know, you may have seen on my Twitter, we had an earthquake here last night. In fact, it was about 3 kilometers or yonder. And about like 2 blocks from where I used to live when I was a teenager. It was only a 4.5 earthquake. It lasted for all of 4 seconds. It came in a wave through the house. I was watching The Boys on Amazon, which is a show, like a superhero show. There was an explosion on the television, and like the whole room went like, whoa, right? And I was like, God damn, I didn't know my TV could do that. I've been talking about getting a sound system, but if the Samsung's capable of that, but it continued. And Richie would have felt it. Everybody around here felt it. Not yous. Did somebody just... You guys, I just used the word. I gave it to you, and no one has guessed it. That's the perfect description of The Boys. If you're not watching The Boys on Amazon, start watching it. It's really enjoyable. Rick is apologizing. It's okay, Rick. I'm just happy to have you back. Sorry, Oilers were in the final in 2006, since it was the last year after it was the year after the Flames. The Flames played in 2005 in Tampa Bay, if I remember correctly. If I'm remembering incorrectly, I don't care. Here's the deal. So as soon as it happened, I went to check on Kevin Lee Daughter. She was fine. Kevin Lee Kitty jumped off Kevin Lee Daughter's bed and just like started scraping the floor, just like trying to stop the world from moving. I don't know if she was trying to protect us, like to stop the earth, or just freaking out. Yonder is correct. Just or yonder. And yonder can be any distance whatsoever. Where'd you park? Oh, just over yonder. Like 2 spaces away. Oh, yonder. Like 20 miles away. Oh, just over yonder. It's at Charleston. There's no... Yonder just means yonder. So 3 kilometers yonder is what I said. Anyway, so I was watching The Boys. The earthquake happened. We checked, and then I checked around everything. I was in the main house. I took down all the pictures. I moved all things around, right? Went outside. I didn't notice any damage anywhere. Checked everything. I smelled for gas. The things you do after an earthquake. It was mild where we were, even though it was just 3 kilometers yonder. And if you're not metric, that's 3,000 meters. Yonder. I thought, and I reported yesterday on the Twitters late at night, no damage. What I didn't do was wait till, what I did do is I waited till daylight, and then I had to go get something from the garage. And here's the thing. A little while ago, I set up this little circuit board and I attached it to the garage door. And it allows me to use my phone and say, like, say, hey, Google. Oh, it heard me anyway. And I'll say, turn on the garage, or open the garage, or turn on the TV, or whatever. In this case, it was the garage. And you be quiet. Shut up. And the garage door opens. And then I don't have to press the button, the little remote, to open the garage door. I can just use my voice. And I can say, Alexa, open up the garage. And it opens up the garage. That's it. It disconnected from the Wi-Fi. So we did suffer earthquake damage. In that I couldn't use my voice to open. I had to use the button on the... We shall rebuild. Hashtag LA Strong. Joe threw out an answer without knowing the question. What was your answer, Joe? That's the best way. If I was on Jeopardy, I'd just be like, what is the College Bowl? What? What is sassafras? Just before he even answers the question. Welcome to Jeopardy. We have some players here today. Kevin Williams. Hey, you're out of the Los Angeles, California area. Tell us a little bit. What is lemon meringue?
Person I think was fired. In both the 2016 and the 2018 elections, the American people chose a president and a Senate majority, united in their commitment to selecting nominees.
What did he say? Was he wrong?
In the 2018 elections, the American people chose a president and a Senate majority, united.
They didn't choose a president in 2018, but okay.
In their commitment to selecting nominees who believe in applying the Constitution.
The Fifth Amendment is the thing you plead if the Mueller report is trying to prove that there's conspiracy. You plead the Fifth, and you delete your emails and messages, and you use encrypted apps. That's what the Trump campaign did. But that's if you're totally innocent and there's been no conspiracy with Russia whatsoever. That's what you do. Page 10 of the Mueller report. You can look it up. Lizzie, you want to see whose reaction?
Constitution as written, right?
Check your DMs. Hold on. Lizzie sent me a DM here, and she wants to see my reaction. If this is another nude, Lizzie, I know you got a thing for spaghetti squash, but honestly, let's go to the twits. Should I show everyone? Sent to photos. For you fans of The Boys, for the people who've watched The Boys, yeah. I'm not even going to say anything about it, but if you watch The Boys, you get that. That was very funny at random. You don't have an Alexa.
Both the White House and the Senate majority have a moral duty.
Todd, are you watching The Boys? Are you a Boys watcher? A Boys watcher. Do you watch The Boys, Todd?
To fulfill the promises they made to the voters, and that is exactly.
We should all watch The Boys. You know what we should do? We should watch The Boys, and then on Friday evenings, we'll pick like a time, and we'll say we're gonna do like The Boys. Well, there's a Boys React video, or something. At Random watches it. Todd watches. Lizzie watches it. Others. Somebody else said they watch it too. It's hot. It's hot. I hate this house.
What we're going to do, we said that if for any reason we have a vacancy on the United States Supreme Court, we will fill that vacancy. We're not going to say, and by the way, we have plenty of time. There's a lot of time. You know, you're talking about January
44 days before the election.
20th, right?
See, remember? Oh God, what day is it? Saturday? Remember? It's September 19th. Yeah, remember back last night when people were saying like, oh, they'd never do. No, I mean, come on. That's what they said back in 2016. And now, flash forward to today, fill that seat. Fill that. They don't care. They just want a win. That's it.
So we will uphold equal justice under the law for citizens of every race.
What will we have?
So we will uphold equal justice under the law for
Joistus.
citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. I will be
Joistus.
putting forth a nominee next week. It will be a woman.
Okay, so it'll be the Amy Barrett lady who's been on the bench for like the federal bench for like 2.5 years. He nominated her for the federal circuit, so I'm not recording the. Well, yes, I am recording the NHL game, Rich. So yeah, let's not talk NHL right now, unless we're referring to the 1996 Game 7 in Carolina, where the people were lovely. I got to touch the Stanley Cup. I got to have. I'm not even going to tell that story. Moving on.
It will be a woman unless. Wait. Okay, let's do a poll. Oh, there they are. How many of these have you come to? Speaking of women, how many of the, what is this, number what? Like 90? They're great. North Carolina, though, right? I see them all over the place. They're great. I hope.
Did he talk about when he left office? Did I touch the cup with your butt? Yes, I touched the cup with my butt. What? I drank out of it with my butt, Lizzie. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna win the cup. I've no illusions of grandeur there. I mean, I know COVID is spreading and everything, but I don't think we're gonna get down to my level of hockey.
Hope your husbands are okay with it. Are they okay? They're okay. You have good husbands. But we're gonna do a vote, okay? So I said, I love these free polls because pollsters, and most of the pollsters are corrupt as far as I'm concerned. If we believed in pollsters, we wouldn't be here right now. But we're actually getting very good. We just had a 53 from Rasmussen, which is very good. Considering we won 4 years ago with a lot lower than 53.
Well, there wasn't a presidential approval rating for you 4 years ago because you weren't the press. Wow. Your presidential rating 4 years ago was actually, it was zero. It was zero. It was an absence of a number. The Arabs invented that.
History has shown that when you're at 53, you can't lose an election. Has anyone ever lost an election with a 53? The answer is yes, when the other side cheats. That could happen. That could happen. That could happen.
But that's the past tense that you just said, and then now for the...
You saw what happened in Pennsylvania, right? Some state Supreme Court justice just ruled that they can take as long as they want to count the ballots. That means I'll be leading and winning Pennsylvania like we did last time.
Yeah, this is the theory. Yeah, so the theory being that if you vote, your vote should be counted. Yeah?
Yeah, we'll be leading. We'll be winning Pennsylvania. We're going to win it easy. We're going to win your state easily. I just came off the plane with, by the way, our great...
Yeah, lucky boy. The rest of the world likes Trump a hell of a lot less than Americans like Trump for some reason. For some reason, America first and only America doesn't appeal much to foreigners.
Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. Did anybody ever hear of Mark Meadows? And Deb, what a great, she's doing such a good job. But Mark, just a few months ago, I've been trying to get him for 3 years to leave, and we have a great person running, as you know. Really great. Does everyone know Madison? Yes? You gonna vote for Madison? He's great. He's a great guy. But Mark had a beautiful head of black hair, and I just noticed that hair's turning white very fast.
Lizzie,
We're
we
doing
can't
a
even
job.
impeach the
We're very
president.
close to a great deal with TikTok. TikTok. But nobody cares about that anymore. All they care about is fill that seat, right? That's all they care.
Yeah.
Until about 24 hours ago, that's all they talked about is TikTok, TikTok.
Nope, I was not talking about TikTok.
Well, we have a deal worked out, I think, with Walmart is going to buy it, along with Oracle. Larry Ellison. It's going to be an incredible combination. And I said, do me a favor, could you put up $5 billion into a fund for education so we can educate people as to real history of our country, the real history.
And he sanctioned investigators for The Hague at random, so.
Because we're getting very close to that deal, and all of the technology will be maintained here. They're going to move probably to the great state of Texas. Sorry, we got you a lot of business, but they're going to move into the United States, which is what's important. They're going to move it to the United States. Unbelievable company. They're going to have 25,000 jobs. If it all goes, I gave them the preliminary approval. But they're putting up $5 billion.
Yeah, nobody cares about TikTok. Here's Yellowcopter moments from earlier today. Let's watch this.
Place, and it's going to be, I think, very exciting.
Mostly
superior
TikTok.
to anything in the world. And it will have nothing to do with China.
He's talking about TikTok.
It'll be totally secure. That'll be part of the deal, and that will be both Oracle, as you know, and Walmart. And I think it's going to be a fantastic deal. The technology is superior to anything in the world.
It's Chinese technology.
And we like that. And again, a lot of jobs, a lot of money. A lot of money for our country. Billions of dollars of taxes will be paid every year. And hundreds of millions of users, and they'll be happy. So everybody will be happy.
Okay, so I'll cover for at random. I'll cover the sanctions. So a few weeks ago, in the middle of all this pandemic and everything, so no one's paid much attention to it whatsoever. But Trump loves to obstruct justice. If you don't do what he says, and whether it's legal or not, then he will attack you. So, Americans in Afghanistan, American soldiers, have been accused of doing some very bad things. Shooting civilians, burning villages, that sort of thing. So every once in a while, if that happens, the Hague gets involved. The international courts will investigate that. And they will say, hey, America, this is what we found out about your guys. We would like them to face trial, or we would like this or that, or whatever the decision is of the Hague. So what Trump has done, since some American soldiers were being investigated for war crimes, Trump says, you guys can't investigate America anymore. I'm placing sanctions on your investigators. So, if you happen to be someone who works for the Hague and, fighting human rights abuses around the planet, your accounts, if they're American, are frozen. You can't travel to certain countries because President Trump doesn't want you investigating Americans, doesn't want you sniffing around. So that's what he's done. Just destroying another norm, and no one even noticed that it happened.
It's a severance. It'll continue to be named TikTok as it was all along, and that's it. That's it. So I can say that
That's C-SPAN.
I have given the deal my blessing. If they get it done, that's great. If they don't, that's okay too. But it's a great...
The president is not supposed to give deals blessings. It's not the way it's supposed to work. It would be a question for the DOJ, and he's supposed to be separate from... Anyway,
deal for America.
Yeah.
And very interesting.
Sir, do you approve the deal?
I approve the deal in concept, yes.
He starts the question with something about the Supreme Court choice before the election.
We'll see what happens. We'll be talking to people soon. We have great respect for the process.
No, you can have trials in The Hague, and if the countries cooperate, the people can face the ramifications that The Hague decides. It is an international court. And up until now, America has decided that they would participate in the court.
This has happened numerous times, and every time there was a nominee, as you know. There's been many occasions
C-SPAN.
where, frankly, it turned out to be during a presidential year. I think I heard 28, but whatever it may be, but in all cases they went forward. But we want to respect the process, and
Again, in 2016, they did not go forward.
the process will move. I think it's going to move very quickly, actually. I agree with the statement put out by Mitch McConnell,
Did he call him Bitch McConnell?
but we want to respect the process, and the process will move. I think it's going to move very quickly, actually. I agree with the statement put out by Mitch McConnell.
Bitch McConnell.
I agree with it actually 100%. I put out a very similar statement you saw. So I think we're going to start the process extremely soon, and we'll have a nominee very soon.
Speaking of very soon, we'll just watch the helicopter broadcast and then I'm going to sign off. I got other stuff to do, and I haven't even showered. I'm filthy. I'm a filthy, filthy boy. I know he said Mitch. Do not fact check me on my own broadcast. Unless I say something wrong, in which case, fair game.
Say it.
Say it. Come on. Say it.
Well, they're going to report the full scope of the deal very soon. Very soon. But it'll be totally controlled by Oracle and Walmart. All of the control is Walmart and Oracle, two great
Yep.
American
You
companies.
said that. Okay.
And you have the combination of the Walmart, that's obvious, and the high tech of Oracle and the genius of the two leaders of those companies.
Okay. Yeah.
On TikTok, sir.
I think this question is RGB said, or sorry,
Who
RBG.
said that?
Oh, Senator Collins is what he's saying. Senator Collins says that she would like to see the next president, and that could be Donald Trump. Here's the thing, what the reporter should be asking is, why aren't you confident that you will win the presidency again? Why aren't you confident, and why won't you wait and uphold the norm that was established in 2016? Why are you so underconfident? Why are you so scared you're going to lose to Biden? And just see what happens.
Well, I totally disagree with her. We have an obligation. We won, and we have an obligation as the winners to pick who we want. That's not the next president. Hopefully I'll be the next president. But we're here now. Right now we're here. And we have an obligation to the voters, all of the people, the millions of people that put us here in the form of a victory. We have an obligation to them, to all of those voters. And it's a very simple thing. So
Remember, the voters voted for Hillary.
I would disagree. If that's what she said,
That's what she said.
that's not the way I read it. I read it differently. But if that's what she said, I totally disagree.
How many people are on your short list? Do you have a short list?
I do. I have a short list. I've had a short list for a while. We added a number of
He had a short list, but just to get some airtime, he added 45
people
people.
onto the list, the previous list. We have about 45 altogether.
Yeah.
I do indeed have a short list. I've gotten to know many of them. I think it's probably, from a legal standpoint, from a sophisticated understanding of the law, from a constitutional standpoint, I think it's the greatest list ever assembled.
Because no one else has ever assembled a list. So yes, it is the greatest list. Is it also the worst list? It is.
I think that the other side should show their radical left list, and I think you'll be surprised.
What do you think of that?
Why? The other side is not filling that vacancy right now, apparently.
Barrett, a lot of people think she's the front runner.
Well, she's very highly respected, I can say that.
Would you like the nominee to be a woman?
I could see most likely it would be a woman. Yeah, I think I could say that. It would be a woman. I would, if somebody were to ask me now,
So he thinks that it's going to be a woman.
a
so
woman
congratulations, Senator Cruz.
would be in first place. Yes. The choice
Wait.
of a woman, I would. I would.
A woman.
If somebody were to ask me now, I would say that
Go ahead. What would you say?
a woman would be in first place. Yes. The choice of a woman, I would say, would
Choice of a
certainly be-
woman would be in first place.
appropriate.
I just get crap.
Say it.
They let you do whatever you want.
She's an extraordinary person. I've heard incredible things about her. I don't know her.
How do you know her? She's an incredible person. I don't know her.
She's Hispanic and highly respected. Miami. highly respected.
For President Obama's pick in 2016, Merrick Garland, didn't get a chance to
The question is for President Obama's pick in 2016, Merrick Garland. It paused.
move forward. That was an election year. Why should your pick get a chance to move forward in the
That was an election year. Why should your pick get a chance to move forward?
Well, that's called the consequence.
That's called the consequence. Okay, we might be done early. Let me see if I can jump around here and make it go. Thank you, C-SPAN. All right, we'll find it. I saw it earlier, or heard it earlier on MSNBC, but I don't think I recorded that program. But let's just take a look just in case I got it. New in your library. Okay, recordings. Last word. What the hell? Let me refresh this. That's from yesterday. Come on. Oh, and we're back. Okay. Come on. Politics Nation. I did get it. Let's go to Politics Nation. We'll find it. Give me a second.
Litter risk-free for 30 days.
Kitty!
When you saw
Kitty! Look at the kitties. Let's just watch kitties instead. You know what's fun is on my TV and also on Pluto, if you get the Roku and you get your Pluto channels. And I'm sure there's apps as well for it, but just watching the dog and kitty videos over and over again. It's just one cute kitten video after another. It's awesome. That's all we should do is just play the kitten videos over and over again. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead and play. Why is nothing working? Well, we got a cute kitten on the show, so... Oh, here we go.
And highly respected, Miami. Highly respected.
For President Obama's pick in 2016, Merrick Garland, didn't get a chance to move forward. That was an election year. Why should your pick forward in the election?
Well, that's called the consequences of losing an election. He lost the election. He didn't have the votes. When you lose elections, sometimes things don't work out well. And
Remember that it was before Obama didn't lose it. Obama never lost an election. What the hell?
by the way, I have to say this. Judge Garland is highly respected. I have a lot of respect for him. I do. I have a lot of respect for him.
Nominate him.
But it's the consequences of an election.
Do you expect a vote before the election or after?
Well, I don't know. We're working with all of the Republican senators and working with McConnell, and we'll be making a decision. I would think before would be very good, but we'll be making a decision. I think the process can go very, very fast. I'll be making my choice soon, and when the choice is made, I'll be sending it over to Mitch in the Senate, and they will do what they have to do. I think we'll have a very popular choice, whoever it may be, but we'll be sending it over to the Senate. Okay? I think the choice will be next week. Yes, I do. I do. Okay? So we'll see you, some of you in North Carolina.
Okay, that's it. And that's it for me, kids. Coming up on 5 o'clock. So, I don't know. I got to do stuff. Putting together my audio and putting them on the wall, which I should have done eons ago. Yesterday, we're moving on. Oh, here we go. Here's, let's, well, you know what? That's what we, Ace, oh, it's gone. Hold on. Okay, here are some highlights that Ace rally. So we'll watch those. How about that? And I have no internet. Come on.